this way to wake you need your hand away, break your seal. I kick your home back in your door, keep vacuuming me low, and you set me on. Downside some flame, it's calling me you. Lost in the night with a dull image. Some kiss waves, your eyes holding mine, caught in you, the music.
Well, happy Sunday, and welcome to Dave's After Hours Trivia Club Live. Step inside the lounge, grab your drink of choice, and settle in. Here at Dave's After Dark, we stir up the memories, test your smarts, and maybe, just maybe, teach you something new along the way. And I have a feeling there'll be a lot of teaching tonight. We do go live most Sundays, and usually on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific time. Now the doors swing open, the lights go low, and of course that's when the trivia starts to flow. We do have a very special show lined up tonight. We will travel through 5 rounds of famous ancient architecture throughout the world. My specialty. Each round presents 10 of the most famous in their era or region. Our robots will quickly paint each scene. I will serve up the clues, and you will take your best guesses as we move through tonight's 5 ancient architecture categories. Round 1, timeless temples and pyramids of ancient Egypt. 2, lost cities and sacred sites of ancient Americas. 3, marble marvels, temples and theaters of ancient Greece. 4, Rome in stone, empire building wonders. And finally, round 5, giants of the East, sacred geometry from Persia to Japan. Now, this isn't just a trivia show. It's a fast-paced gauntlet of art, memory, and mystery. Let's see how many you can guess before the brush finishes the final stroke. Now, at this point, I did want to mention quickly our sponsor, and that's davidhansenart.com. That's me, where you can find our live show cover art, like what you've been seeing on the screen here lately. There we go. And we have all kinds of things available there. We have wall art, we have beach towels, we have coffee mugs, we have puzzles, we have carry bags, all sorts of merch available in our Dave's After Dark cover art. Okay, be sure to check in down in the chat. Say hello. This is where you'll be throwing out your guesses or just hanging with the crew. I see Sandra's in the house. Early bird's here. Good to see you, Sandra. I know Arena will be joining us shortly from the car. Anyway, glad to see you. This should be fun tonight. As you may know, I am a former architect, a retired architect, and I love architectural history. So we'll be covering a lot of those subjects tonight, and hopefully we'll make it as fun as possible. All right, let's fire up the first round. Now, by now, I think you might know the rules. The robots do the painting, you do the guessing, and I do try to throw you off with clues along the way. The clues might be important tonight. So here we go. Timeless temples and pyramids of ancient Egypt. Timeless temples and pyramids of ancient Egypt. There you go. All right, number 10. There we go. Let's give it a try. This architectural wonder hides in plain sight, blending in seamlessly to the desert cliff. It honors a trailblazing ruler who shattered the glass or sandstone ceiling. I guess it's not glass. Its design reflects both power and peace, with columns as graceful as papyrus stems. We're starting to see it there. Now this one sits right into the cliff face there. It's carved to celebrate Egypt's most powerful queen pharaoh. So there's a key clue. Remember any of those queen pharaohs? It's practically a royal resume in stone. Now this female pharaoh was a big builder. And I'll give you another clue. This is her mortuary temple. Her mortuary temple. And this is, well, it's one of the top 10 most famous structures in Egypt. So there you go. This is 1479 to 1458 BC is when they built this thing. So a long time ago. This is the mortuary temple of Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut, of course. The temple's alignment with the winter solstice allowed the sun to illuminate the inner sanctum. All right. Well, that was hard. Doesn't get easier yet. We have it'll be a mix of ones you've heard of and ones that might be a little harder. So here we go. This symmetrical site has a bit of a split personality. You'll find crocodiles and falcons side by side. But they're not in the zoo, they're carved in the walls. Ancient surgical tools are carved right into the walls. Handy for a temple visit with a side of medical history. Its twin design served two rival gods, Sobek and Horus, the elder. I guess what kind of animals were those? Those were crocodiles and falcons. This Ptolemaic masterpiece proves you really can build for both Team Reptile and Team Bird. All right, so I guess this one's the most famous for the super cool hieroglyphs, right? So this one's famous for the super cool hieroglyphs. I have never been there. I'm definitely on it. It's on the bucket list. We'll see. 180 to 47 BC is when they built this. So this is Cleopatra. This is Cleopatra time. This is called the Temple of Kom-Ombo. Kom-Ombo. K-O-M-O-M-B-O. Kom-Ombo. Over 300 crocodile mummies were discovered in the tomb. There you go. That's weird. All right, now you might have heard of this next one. Some ruins whisper, these ones shout. I am Ramses. So there's the key clue. Its surviving statue fragments could crush your car. The fragments. The walls depict chariots, chaos, and one pharaoh's PR version of victory at Kadesh. So I don't know if you remember, but Ramses is famous for his huge victory at Kadesh. Think of it as an ancient billboard complex, and the billboards are 60 feet tall. I gotta see this. This should be interesting. Anyway, Ramses the Great. This temple was both a monument and memorial devoted entirely to the great builder himself. Any guesses? Ramses. One of the fallen colossi here, I guess those are colosses, inspired Percy Shelby's iconic poem, Ozymandias, an enduring meditation on imperience. I don't know what that means. The Ramesseum. The Ramesseum. Ramses. There you go. Okay. Well, I guess it's one of the top 10 buildings in Egypt. That's all I got to say. Now, this one you might recognize actually from the picture. So here we go. Maybe we'll get this one. This structure didn't quite stick the landing. It looks like it's doing yoga, halfway between a pyramid and something else. It was built under Pharaoh Sneferu. Old Sneferu. It was an early attempt at smooth-sided design. And I didn't quite get it right. The shift in angle halfway up might have been a pivot or perish moment. Oh, so they had to pivot probably because of the weight or something. I don't know. Some reason they started to go at a different angle. It's architectural trial and error in 4.6 million tons of limestone. Now, this is a long time ago. This is right about the same time as the Great Pyramid, 2600 BC. In fact, maybe just before, based on that date. Just before. This one has a name. It's called the Blank Pyramid. The Blank Pyramid. Despite its odd shape, the Blank Pyramid is one of the best preserved pyramids with most of its casing stones still intact. You can kind of see them halfway up there. Those are the casing stones. This is called the Bent Pyramid. Pretty simple. The Bent Pyramid. Learn something every day on Dave's After Dark. All right, number 6. One you might remember. Now we're into the pyramids. This is a pyramid, but it's a certain pyramid. This one's before. This is like one of the earliest pyramids, okay? Before Giza's grandeur, this stepped showstopper led the way. It's the world's first large-scale stone structure. Thank you, Mr. Architect Imhotep. I don't know if you remember, we did Imhotep, I think, last week. Famous people from history. The design looks like a 6-layer wedding cake for a king. Now, this is located in a place called Saqqara. Saqqara, not far from the modern city of Cairo. This pyramid stepped Egypt into a whole new era. Literally. So you know what this one's called, Sandra? It's called the Blank Pyramid of Dozier. The Blank Pyramid of Dozier. Imhotep, its designer, was later defied and is sometimes called the first recorded polymath in history. Well, anyway, Imhotep, it's the Step Pyramid of Dozier. The Step Pyramid of Dozier, predating Giza. You know, they had to get this method down first. All right, top 5. Here we go. These are hard, obviously. We need the doctor in the house to give us a hand. Doctor, where are you? This temple could moonlight as a Hollywood set. It's that perfect. Its towering pylon gate screams, "Enter if you dare," in hieroglyphs. Now, this complex was built during the Ptolemaic period, again, Cleopatra times. It honored a god with a head of a falcon. They were into the falcons then. Its carvings show Horus battling Set. a divine showdown in stone. So it's a battle of the gods shown in the stone in the hieroglyphs. It's the best preserved large temple in all of Egypt. So this is on the bucket list. I've never heard of it actually. So there you go. Kind of hard. The temple contains inscriptions detailing the house of the morning, a sacred prep room for high priest, complete with ritual instructions on the wall. So the priests had the instructions written right on the wall. There you go. This is called the Temple of Horus. The Temple of Horus at Edfu. This is only 237 to 57 BC, so just before Cleopatra. It's like one of the early Ptolemies. There you go. All right. Well, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Top 4 now. Top 4 structures in ancient Egypt. Number 4. These 2 titans have been sitting for 3,000 years and they still haven't blinked. They once guarded a now gone temple of Pharaoh Amenhotep III. So apparently there was a temple there, but now it's just an open field. Which again, this would be so cool to see, right? Ancient tourists came to hear one of them sing at dawn. Now that'd be weird. Earthquakes and floods couldn't topple their celebrity status. So these guys have stood through a lot of chaos in the area. They're taller than a 5-story building and carved from single blocks. Carved from single blocks. Any idea what those are called? Famous structures in ancient Egypt. These are the Colossi of Memnon. I almost remember hearing that from like the Mummy movie or something. Colossi of Memnon. After an earthquake, one statue began to emit a mysterious sound at sunrise. Ancient Greeks believed it was the voice of Memnon. There they are. Cool. All right, top three structures in Egypt. I bet you get the number 1. All right, number 3. This went pretty well though too. Now this temple was so impressive, they moved it. Literally, when they built that big dam up at Aswan, they had to move this temple. Its alignment to light up the inner chamber on 2 exact days each year. The facade features 4 seated Ramses statues. So there's 4 of these giant Colossus Ramses statues, each about 20 meters tall, 60, 70 feet. Wow. It celebrates both Ramses' military might and his divine status. Hey, Kalki! Well, this one is not Karnak, but hang on to that answer. Something tells me it may come up soon. Now remember, this is Ramses, and this is the one they had to move when they built the dam. Anybody remember this? It was carved directly into a mountain. So they had to, so that made it hard to move. This is the Great Temple of Ramses II, or Ramses the Great, at Abu Simbel. That's not familiar to anybody? The Great Temple of Ramses the Great at Abu Simbel, 1264 BC. In the 1960s, the entire complex was relocated. There you go. Cool. Top 2 now. Okay, Kalki. Hang on to that answer. I think you'll recognize this place. This place is a temple. This is one of the coolest looking places. I gotta go to this place. This place is less of a temple and more of a small city. hypo-style hall feels like a forest of stone. 134 columns tall enough to stun you. Pharaoh after pharaoh added their own flair, like centuries of architectural graffiti. It honored the Theban triad, Amun, Mut, and Khonsu. It's one of the largest religious complexes ever built. And now, Kalki, you are correct. It is Karnak. I guess it's as big enough that it feels like a city when you're there. Have you been there? Anybody been there? Has anybody been there? Cool place, huh? Temple of Karnak. Started in 2000 BC, and they kept building on it all the way through 100 CE. So it was a favorite of all the pharaohs. The site was considered sacred for over 2,000 years. There you go. 2,000 years. Can you imagine? 2,000 years. That's a long time. Long time. Well, we've made it down to the number one famous structure in ancient Egypt. And something tells me you guys know this one. Now, this was built in starting in 2580 BC, and it was completed in 2560 BC. So only 20 years to build this sucker. Oh, very good, Kalki. Yeah, I bet you know this one though too. Now this was built in only took 20 years, 2580 BC. Over 2 million limestone blocks. No cranes, just clever engineering. Now, how do you think they did this? It was built for the pharaoh Khufu, but his mummy, they never found it. It is so precisely built, even modern tools would struggle to replicate it. Yes, Giza would be a good guess. The Great Pyramid of Giza. There it is. And can you see kind of like the modern city of Cairo in the background there? Kind of crazy how close it is. Again, love to see it in person. Bucket list. Let's do it. The pyramid's original polished casing stones made it gleam like a mirror under the desert sun. A beacon for the ages. There we go. Number one with a bullet, the Great Pyramid of Giza. All right, well, that was a little more challenging than we may have liked for the first round. We might have liked an easier round. Ancient architecture, we're learning something. Okay, now I do have 2-minute intermission files, and what these are more speed painting, but in this case, it's going to be famous architects through history, and there's not going to be any clues, just the painting and just the music. Now, we'll give you a little clue on this first one. It is Roman times. Okay, so again, this is our little 2-minute intermission. We'll be back with round 2 in just a second, and try to guess the architect that our robots are painting. guesses? Got kind of a classical music going on, don't we? Anyway, ancient Rome, the most famous architect from that period is, no guesses, huh? Going once, going twice. This is Mr. Vitruvius. Vitruvius. Born in 80 BC, passed away in 15 BC, so right at the same time as Julius Caesar. Now, an ancient Roman architect, engineer, he wrote De Architectura, 10 books on architecture, laying the foundation for architectural principles still referenced today. All right, good intermission. Let's go on to round two because it's a lot easier. Hey. All right, now, I think you guys know the rules around here. The robots do the painting, you do the guessing, and I try to confuse you with confusing clues along the way. Now we're going to do the lost cities and sacred sites of ancient Americas. So North America, South America, top 10 of ancient America. All right, first one's hard. Number 10. Here we go. Now this one's nestled high in the cloud forest. This stronghold's walls could humble a castle. It is known as the Machu Picchu of the North. I'm not sure where it was, but still South America, I think. It was built by Chacapayas, warriors of the clouds, because that's not ominous at all. Its narrow entrance passages were designed to be easily defended, funneling attackers into tight spaces. So this is a long time ago, 6th century CE, so almost 1,000 years before, 800 years before Machu Picchu. Despite its remoteness, it boasts over 400 circular stone houses. So that's the most curious thing, is all over this hill are these round circle houses that are still there from the 6th century CE. So it's not Machu Picchu. Hang on to Machu Picchu. You're pre-guessing many categories. This is called Kulap Fortress. Kuelap Fortress. Kulap Fortress. I know, you learn something every day here, don't you? Some of Kulap's burial sites are carved into cliff sides with bones stacked neatly. Didn't have much room for burial up there. All right, now I think you might know this one. Now this is around 1000 BC. Long time ago. This is North America, United States territory. This site slithers across the Ohio landscape like a giant earthworm on a mission. It's over 1,300 feet long and shaped like something you'd avoid. Its coiled tail and open mouth suggest a celestial alignment, not just yard art. It's Ohio. This is in Ohio. It's 1000 BC, built by indigenous cultures, but we're still debating exactly who and why. Well, it certainly looks like a snake river, but that's not quite it. Zone, Ohio, it's a pretty famous site. I think it's a national park or at least a national monument. No temples, no pyramids, just one epic dirt dragon. Anybody know what this is called? It's called Serpent Mound. So look that up after and do some Googling on that and check it out. The head aligns with summer solstice sunset, suggesting it was more observatory than ornament. Anyway, so they did lots of mounds back then in that general area, and this was the Serpent Mound. And it's pretty famous because of the shape, right? All right, I think you might know this place too. I've been to this place a couple times, and it's pretty creepy. Imagine a complex of stone great houses rising from the desert. Ancient condos with a cosmic twist. Here's a key clue. This New Mexico site was the heart of vast trade and ceremonial networks. So this city was the center of this entire civilization. The structures align with solar and lunar cycles. Astrology meets urban planning. Roads extended for miles, even over cliffs, because ancestral Puebloans didn't believe in shortcuts. That's the new name for the Anasazi. Ancestral Puebloans. Their ceilings had wooden beams hauled from the forest 50 miles away. Yeah, Jan's got that. Good job. Yeah. And yeah, it's a creepy place. I was out there one time and camping, and I woke up in the morning and I think I was the only person in the campground, and it was foggy. It's pretty creepy. The canyon includes the famous sun dagger petroglyph, making solstices via sunlight on rock spirals. Chaco Canyon is correct. This is pretty late though, 900 to 1150 AD. All right. Well, sticking with about that same time zone, 1050 to 1350 AD. This is again in the Midwest now. Before New York had skyscrapers, this site had Monk's Mound. So that's the name of one of the things that's at this site. This was a huge city. At one time, at its peak, it was home to more people than London at the same time. So look at London, 1100 AD. Look at this place, and there were more people in this city than in London. How about that? It was the largest urban center north of Mexico, and nobody remembers who built it. Nobody remembers nothing about it. It includes something else called Woodhenge, which is a solar calendar made of wooden posts. The society behind it disappeared mysteriously, like they often do, but they left a towering dirt legacy. So yeah, it is the Mound people that they are referred to as the Mound people. Do you remember where this city, what the name of this city was? Right at the bend in the Mississippi River, I believe. Right at a big bend. It might have been the Missouri River. Mississippi or Missouri River, one of those. The society behind it disappeared mysteriously. The mounds align with cardinal directions. This is called Cahokia Mounds. Yeah, you pretty much had it there, Jan. Good job. All right. Now, the name of this one is tricky, but it's very distinctive. This Veracruz site is famous for its stacked pyramid of niches. Each of its 365 niches may mark a day, basically. Oh, so the sun would travel across this thing, and depending on which niche it was in, weird. Its name may come from a rain god. but the city's style is all sunshine and flare. It was rediscovered under a dense jungle, so this was completely covered by a jungle. And it is very unusual looking for Mexico. It's in Mexico. Anybody remember the name of this? This is 600 to 1200 AD. The pyramid's unique design casts dramatic shadows throughout the day, possibly serving for both timekeeping and spiritual purposes. So it is very unusual, right? Not your typical Mayan or Aztec pyramid. Teopevlot. No, that's a good guess though. I don't know what that is. El Tajin. El Tajin. Tajin. El Tajin. There you go. Unusual, huh? Yeah. Well, that's why it's on the list. Top 10. Top 10 structures of the ancient world in the Americas. All right, you may know this one. Similar, a little bit later time zone. This is about the same time zone as Cahokia or Chaco. Picture Venice, but with obsidian blades and human sacrifices. It was built on a lake. This Aztec capital featured temples, canals, and causeways. Its central temple Mayor honored the gods of war and rain. Guess which one got more attention? War or rain? Spanish conquistadors were floored by its beauty, and then they properly flattened it. Today it lies beneath Mexico City, but you can still visit its ruins and museums. So, what was the ancient Aztec city that the Spanish conquered and is underneath Mexico City and looked just like this picture? This is an accurate depiction of the famous Aztec city of... Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say these names. Tenochtitlan. Tenochtitlan. How's that? Tenochtitlan, Mexico City, basically, right? There you go. Okay. All right. Now you may have heard this one. This one's been a subject lately. This high altitude Bolivian city was no small feat. It was built nearly 13,000 feet above sea level. That'll give you a nosebleed. Giant carved stones were hauled without wheels or draft animals. Ancient leg day. They're making a joke. It includes the famed Gate of the Sun, a portal packed with symbolic carvings. That's what we're seeing here, the Gate of the Sun. No writing system has been found, but their architecture speaks volumes. Its decline remains a mystery. Climate conquest, bad Yelp reviews. Okay, so this is Bolivia, right next to Lake Titicaca. Right next to Lake Titicaca. Anybody remember the name of this place? It's pretty famous for, it has like these H-shaped blocks that almost look like they're poured in place concrete blocks. The giant, but otherwise. Nobody can figure out who built this stuff. It's like, where'd they go? Who built this? Why'd they never build anything else? This is called Tiwanaku, which you may have heard of. Tiwanaku, 300 to 1000 AD. Tiwanaku's interlocking stonework shows a Proto-Incan skill. So this is before the Incas by a long shot. All right, let's go back to the Aztecs. This is the city that's a little easier to say, but still not that easy. And this is the biggest Aztec city, bigger than Tenochtitlan. Tenochtitlan. A mega metropolis with pyramids that rival Egypt's. As big as Egypt's. In fact, more massive than the Great Pyramid of Giza. But nobody knows who built it. Weird. The Avenue of the Dead leads straight to the Pyramid of the Sun. They probably did a little sacrifice in there. Multi-ethnic and mural rich. It may have inspired later cultures like the Aztecs. So this was actually built by pre-Aztecs, but they don't think it was the Olmec. It was somebody between the Olmec and the Aztec. Its decline came before the Spanish ever set foot in the New World. So this would be great to visit too. This looks like this today. That's what it looks like today. I think they might have restored a little bit, but even the Aztecs were tourists here, naming it the place where gods were born. Recent excavations revealed a hidden tunnel beneath the pyramid of the feathered serpent, possibly a symbolic underworld. This is Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan. You guys heard of that one? I think you might have. Teotihuacan, 100 BC to 550 AD. So a long time ago. Almost the same time as the Olmec, but in a slightly different place, right? All right. Now we're in the same neighborhood with this next one. And it is a Mayan city. It's perhaps the most spectacular Mayan city. Okay. This Maya city was both a jungle fortress and a star observatory. Its buildings include the Temple of Inscriptions with actual inscriptions. It was ruled by Pakal the Great. Pakal, good old Pakal, whose tomb rivals Egyptian pharaohs. So a lot of parallels going on here. A little bit later, though. Rich in astronomy, its architecture aligns with solstices and celestial events. And yes, it inspired ancient alien theory. But this is all the Mayas. This is the Mayas. And this is the most spectacular Maya place. Built 226 BC. 226 BC. And you know, they hung out there for a long time after that. That's almost Olmec territory, 226 BC, and then all the way till 799 CE AD. So, anybody guess what this is called? I haven't seen this one in person either, and I would love to see this. This is Palenque. Palenque, Palenque. Puckle's J Death mask was found here. Cool. All right, number one with a bullet. I guarantee you're all going to get this one. We got to end on a positive note. This mountaintop citadel stayed hidden until 1911. It was built by the Incas. It showcases seamless stonework and sacred geometry. It has temples, terraces, and llamas. Possibly a royal retreat, possibly an observatory, or possibly even an estate for the royalty. Nobody knows for sure. Its stones fit so tightly, not even a knife blade fits between them. There you go, Jan's got it. Yeah, South America is nice. I've been to Ecuador a couple times, toured around quite a bit. I never saw Machu Picchu there. I would like to see it. Machu Picchu, the site's stone is the hitching post of the sun. Was believed to tether the sun to the sky. Oh, cool. Yeah, good job. All right, well, you know, round two. Maybe they get easier. We're gonna do Greeks, we're gonna do Romans, and we're gonna do the Far East. So I don't know. They may get a little easier, but let's do a quick intermission again. Let's do another famous architect, and again, no clues, just music. And now the second one is a famous Renaissance architect from Florence. Well, I think you pretty much have it there, Jan. Filippo Brunelleschi. Correct. I think that's what you were trying to say. 1377 to 1446. Filippo Brunelleschi, the mastermind of the Renaissance architecture. He designed the Florence Cathedral dome, revolutionizing engineering with his innovative technique. All right, so concludes our second intermission. Let's move on to the third round. Let's do it. The sooner we start, the sooner we end. Alrighty. So, you know the rules. Robots paint, you guess, and I give the clues. Now we're going to try marble marvels. Temples, theaters of ancient Greece. Temples and theaters of ancient Greece. I think you're going to know Rome, but Greece is a little harder. So good luck. This temple stands proud in Athens, still looking like it could host a toga party. It's dedicated to the god of fire, metalwork, and not tripping over anvils. It's Doric, durable, and deceptively simple. Classic Greek. Classic Greek. It's nestled near the ancient agora. So this is not at the Acropolis. This is near the ancient agora. It was a daily reminder that gods were watching your market transaction. So Jan, yeah, I know they fooled you. It's got the same look as the Parthenon. But it's not. You know, it's a Greek temple. They all look. Unlike most temples, its roof is still intact. That was a key thing. A real survival in marble form. Wow. So the roof was still intact on this one. This is near the Agora, not on the Acropolis. We will do We will come back to the Parthenon later. There's a hint. This one's called the Temple of Hephaestus. 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 449 BC. It's so well preserved because it was converted into a Christian church. There you go. Okay, now I think you'll know this one. This one is at the Acropolis. This temple is both sacred and slightly off-center. Literally. It was built to accommodate uneven terrain and rival myths. It's an architectural compromise with flair. It features caryatids. That's what it's famous for. This is the caryatid thing, which are stone maidens who double as support beams and fashion icons. Actually, they're columns, not beams. Robots. It honored both Athena and Poseidon, both, because even gods need a timeshare. The robots are trying some jokes here tonight. It's where Athena's olive tree and Poseidon's salty spring supposedly sprouted mid-duel. So, Jan, I think that is a common name of this thing, the Porch of the Maidens. I think that is the common name. That's not the Greek name. But I do think that is correct for the common name. One of the original caryatids was taken to Britain and now lives in the British Museum. The others await her long overdue return. Yeah, so the British Museum won't give it back, I guess. This thing was called the Erectheon. The Erectheon. Or the Porch of the Maidens. There you go. Very good. I like the Porch of the Maidens better. All right, so this temple, there's not much of it left, but it looks really cool. This temple took over 600 years to finish. Talk about architectural patience. When complete, it was the largest temple in Greece, with columns taller. That's what it's famous for, is tall columns. 5-story building. Only a few columns still stand today, but they give a sense of its original grandeur. It was built in the honor of the king of the gods. There's a clue. It was as ambitious as it was delayed. It's hard to build. Imagine beginning your project under tyrants and finishing it under Roman emperors. Ooh. Talk about scope creep. 5 stories. Columns. I guess it used to be gold. So I gave you a good clue. Built in the honor of the king of the gods. Good clue. Emperor Hadrian, the Roman guy, Emperor Hadrian completed this and even added a colossal statue of himself. That's funny. So this is called the Temple of Olympian Zeus. So there was a giant, inside of it, there was a giant statue of Zeus. And Emperor Hadrian added a statue of himself next to Zeus. Very cool, though. I would like to see that. Have you been there, Jan? Have you been to these Greek temples? Oh, that would look pretty cool. Number 7. Welcome to the mythical birthplace of Apollo and Artemis, according to ancient PR. This one's going to be hard. There's not much left of this one. This Aegean island, it's on an island though, a beautiful view. You can see the ocean there in the background. This Aegean island was once a bustling religious and commercial hub. It includes the famous Terrace of the Lions, stone guardians with eternal scowls. Its ruins stretch across temples, stoas, and homes, with the mosaic still intact. So, This is most famous for all the floor mosaics, and you can see one in the foreground of this picture right there, a big medallion. And I guess all over these ruins, there are beautiful mosaic flooring still in place. Anybody know what this is called? No, nothing Athena's. This is called Delos Sanctuary Complex. This is a long time ago. This was started all the way back in the 9th century BC and finished in the 1st century BC. That's prime Greek time, right? 500 BC, like prime Greek time. Delos Sanctuary is what that was called. There you go. All right, now you may have heard of this one. This is the most famous of the amphitheaters. Most famous of the amphitheaters. The acoustics are so good here, you can hear a whisper from the top row. And it is still used for performances today, proving marble beats modern sound systems. It seats around 14,000 people. So it's pretty tall. And it blends seamlessly into the hillside setting. And you can hear the acoustics are perfect. It's built to honor Asclepius, god of medicine, healing through drama. Its symmetry and proportions are still studied by architects and theater nerds alike. So I guess it has good acoustics. It can seat 14,000 people. I don't know. Any guesses as to what this thing's called? 4th century BC. The perfect acoustics are partly due to the limestone seats, which dampen low-frequency crowd noise while boosting high-pitched speech. Wonder how they figured that out. Something Colosseum. Good guess, Sandra. Incorrect. This is the Theater of Epidaurus. 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 There you go. All right. Top 5. Here we go. They get it so much easier. Here we go. Now this one never had a roof. Didn't really need one. It's a temple. Massive in scale, it rivaled the greatest temples in the ancient world. So this was huge. It is home to a famous oracle. It was a hotspot for divine Q&As. It's a joke. 2 towering columns still stand, echoes of the past grandeur. It's actually not in Greece proper, but in modern-day Turkey, showing how far Greek culture stretched at the time. All right, so this is a famous temple, and it's actually in Turkey, and it was begun in 300 BC, so that was prime time Greek. The temple included a hidden inner sanctuary called an aditon. Didn't know that. Where only the priests and priestesses could access the oracle's prophecies. So outside, everybody could get the prophecies from the oracle, but the priests and priestesses got to go into a little special room and get the real stuff. Temple of Apollo at Didyma, Didyma. They're cool looking. I can see why they're on the list. I mean, they're all pretty, right? They're all attractive. They're just not things we've heard of before. Now, I have heard of this one. I've seen it. I've seen people on sailboats go and visit this one. So there you go. It's perched on a cliff above the sea. This temple is a selfie with a side history. Sailors once prayed here for calm seas or for revenge storms. Its Doric columns frame Aegean sunsets like a travel brochure in stone. Yeah, that's where I've seen this is like on a YouTube show with the people that sail in catamarans and stuff, and they park down here and then they walk up and see the temple. That's what I've seen. Lord Byron famously carved his name into one of the columns. That sounds like that's not good. It was one of the last sights seen by homebound ancient mariners. Ah. The temple may have doubled as a lighthouse and a weather signal post for ancient Athenian ships. All right, so it was like outside of Athens, and this is one of the things you saw coming in. And I'm looking for just the common thing. This is known as the Temple of Poseidon, and more specifically, the Temple of Poseidon at Sunion, 444 BC. There you go. Top three. Let's do it. Top three. All right. So this Hellenistic shopping mall came with built-in shade, perfect for ancient window shopping. What that means? 2 stories, 21 rooms, and a very early version of open concept. Okay. Originally gifted by a king of Parthenon to Athens. Better than a fruit basket. Yes, indeed. It was rebuilt in the 20th century to exact specs and now serves as a museum. Oh. Anybody know this one? It showed that Greeks valued both philosophy and retail therapy. It's a shopping mall. The rebuilt Stoa, it's called the Stoa, right? Was funded by the American School of Classic Studies, using it as a lab for archaeological preservation in action. This is the Stoa of Attilos. Stoa of Attilos. There you go. Top 3. All right, we got 2 left. Now you might know both of these, but here we go. Let's focus. This one's not right in Athens, okay? It's not in Athens. It's built where the earth supposedly cracked open, letting Apollo's spirit enter. It's home to the famed Oracle of Delphi. It's dispensing cryptic advice ever since. Know thyself was inscribed at the entrance. Still good advice. It drew pilgrims, kings, and war generals hoping to hear their fate. Perched on Mount Parnassus, the setting is as divine as the prophecies. A beautiful setting. Yes. Yeah, okay, doctor. Good to have you here. It's good to have the doctor in the house with his short answer, and we'll give it to him with the short answer. It is the temple of someone at Delphi. Temple of who at Delphi? Some scholars believe the oracle's visions were induced by hallucinogenics. I've done a video. Go back in my archives, find my Oracle of Delphi video. Apollo is correct. What's going on, man? Good to see you. We've been needing you. It's been a challenging evening. All right, everybody knows this one, though. We always like to finish a little easier each round. Number 1, Greek architecture. This marble crown jewel is Athens' most iconic building, and it knows that it is. It's dedicated to Athena. It once held a 40-foot gold and ivory statue of Athena. It was built in just 9 years, an ancient miracle of logistics and math. It uses optical illusions to appear perfectly straight and symmetrical. So they actually built these things with curves and stuff. Yeah, you're right, Doug. You're right. And everybody had it earlier. Jan had it earlier. But it was a different temple. Even in ruin, it defines classical beauty. The Parthenon's frieze likely depicts the Pantheonic procession, blending civic pride with religious reverence in one epic stone mural. So yeah, I guess the frieze up there is quite the thing to behold. Yeah, finally, it's the Parthenon. I was holding out on you. We were down to the first one though. All right. Well, it's always good to end on a little bit easier one, right? 447 BC is the date. On the Parthenon. There you go. All right. Well, that concludes round 3. We still have 2 rounds to go, and we have a quick intermission here. Again, we're going to do a famous architect, and this is a famous British architect of, say, the late Renaissance. How's that sound? Are correct, Doctor. It is Mr. Christopher Wren. After the Great Fire of London, 1666, Wren redesigned many of the city's churches, most notably St. Paul's Cathedral, showcased a blend of Baroque and classical styles. All righty, let's do round 4. What the heck? Good job, Doctor. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. All right, so I'm thinking most of you know the rules. The robots do the painting around here, and that means you guys have to do the guessing. And I do the confusing. All right, we're going to do the Roman stone empire building wonders. So these are all about from the Roman Empire. Roman Empire. So this first one is not in Rome, but it's part of the Roman Empire. Here we go. This aqueduct bridge isn't just functional, it's photogenic. It carried water more than 30 miles to Roman baths and fountains. It was built with no mortar. Its stones still hold tight over 2 millennia later. Millennia. 2,000 years. It's 3 tiers tall. It's France's most elegant leftover from the Roman occupation. Think of it as plumbing, but with arches. Who knows what this is? This is 19 BC, so this is, oh gosh, right after Julius Caesar. Augustus time. Beginning of the empire. Anybody know what this is called? Pretty famous. It's in France. Going once. Going twice. Pont du Gard. Pont du Gard. Pont du Gard. Its slope is so precisely calibrated that water dropped just 1 inch every 300 feet. Wow. Amazing. There you go. All right, that was number 10. Let's do number 9. Roman. Now we're doing the Roman stuff. Here we go. This is in Rome. This one. I can't imagine being at this place when it was in the heyday. That would have been incredible. These weren't just baths. They were the original social network. Up to 1,600 people could steam, swim, or debate politics here. Mosaics, marble, and heated floors made this spa luxury meets imperial excess. But can you imagine going to one of these baths? You didn't just cleanse your body, you flexed your Romanness. It was like a mall, gym, and art gallery rolled into one, with a lot more nudity. Correct, Doctor. Very good. Very good. I guess maybe is that the most famous baths? I think it might be. But definitely the biggest, I think. Baths of Caracalla is correct, and it was completed in 216 AD. The baths used a hypocaust system, an early version of radiant heating that made winter bathing bearable and cool. Caracalla. Caracalla. Just like it sounds, Caracalla. There you go. All right, cool. You got that one. Awesome. Number 8. Now this one's interesting. This one hasn't made an appearance on the show yet. It is hidden in the Sicilian hills. This villa's floor game is unmatched. So this one's all about the floor. Its mosaics include gladiators, animals, and bikini girls. Cool. It's likely owned by a Roman aristocrat, or was owned by a Roman aristocrat, or even an emperor. It's both home and showpiece. Now, this was buried in a landslide, which is what accidentally preserved the decor in mint condition. The floor coverage over 37,000 square feet of artistic ambition. So this is original. This is preserved because some landslide buried it. It was perfectly preserved. I guess it's pretty famous. It's number 8 on our top architecture of the Roman era. So it must be cool. Kind of heard of it. This is called the Villa Romana del Casale. Villa Romana is probably the main thing. The villa's gymnasium mosaic features the world's earliest depiction of competitive sports bras, athletic chic in the Roman era. There you go. Who knew? All right, I think you know this next place. It's the Roman Empire's answer to a mixed-use development. And this is 110 AD. So this is heyday of the Roman Empire. Just getting going big time. Bringing all those taxes in. Part library, part basilica, part shopping mall. Emperor Trajan celebrated his military victories with real estate. The markets had over 150 shops and multiple levels. It's where law, leisure, and luxury all went on sale. Does anybody know what this is called? I gave you all the clues. You've had all the pieces. Hey, Dexter, what's going on? Dexter's mom, excuse me. I guess we can't call you Dexter. We need to call you Mom. Anyway, we're doing famous Roman buildings, and this is one of them. And it's like a shopping mall. 150 shops, multiple levels. And I gave you all the clues, guys. I gave you everything that's there. I gave you the emperor's name. Put it all together, and it's called Trajan's Forum and Market. Trajan's Market. This is Trajan's Market. There you go. All right. Well, we'll get the next one. I think you will get the next one. Number 6. All right. Walk under this, and you're literally walking through a victory. It commemorates Rome's conquest of Jerusalem, including a lute scene with a menorah. All right. Its style influenced triumphal arches all the way to the Arc de Triomphe, one of the earliest examples of a propaganda billboard carved into stone. It's standing proud at the Roman Forum. It's both celebratory and solemn. So, it looks like it's an arch. And it's not Trajan's arch. I don't know. I think this is the most famous arch in Rome. It's at the Forum. It's the celebration of winning in Jerusalem. Jewish tradition avoided walking beneath this arch for centuries due to its symbolism until the formation of Israel in 1948. Huh, interesting. Who knows? Anybody know this one? The Arch of 81 AD. The Arch of Titus. That sound familiar? Oh, that was another good guess. Throw out those emperors, doctor. All good guesses. Now, hey, but you always are clairvoyant. The next one is number 5. Famous Roman buildings. If Rome had Airbnbs, this was a luxury listing. All right. Emperor Hadrian built this personal palace complex in Tivoli because one palace just wasn't enough. It spans over 250 acres, and it blended Greek, Egyptian, and Roman architecture like UNESCO fever dream. Yeah, so Hadrian used to cruise around and he brought back all these ideas for his architect. He probably drove his architect crazy. But so this has Greek, Egyptian, all kinds of things in it. It included libraries, baths, theaters, and artificial islands. Think of it as Rome's ultimate remote work compound. That's funny. Do you know what this is called? It's not Hadrian's Arch. Oh. They're very good, Doctor. Yes, this is Hadrian's Villa. And this looks like it was cool, right? I mean, can you imagine this place? It's just like, I can't imagine those baths of Caracalla. Now, this the heyday walking around the grounds of this place. Oh my gosh. Hadrian's Villa. One section called Conocopius mimicked an Egyptian resort town. Cool. All right, number 4. This one's kind of interesting. Okay. Number 4. This is a general building type rather than a specific building. Okay. Rome didn't rise without water, and this is what carried it across the empire. With gradients so gentle, they made gravity look like fine art. Some of these spanned over 50 miles. No pumps. They powered baths, fountains, and even homes of the wealthy. And many still function centuries after the empire fell. Yeah, Doctor, correct. This is the famous Roman aqueducts, which were an amazing bit of engineering, right? Yeah, they were all gravity flow and just barely, right? What did it say? 1 inch in a mile or something? That's ridiculous. 500 feet, 1 inch in 500 feet. Rome had 11 major aqueducts by the third. Rome itself had 11 major aqueducts by the 3rd century, delivering over 200 million gallons of water daily. 200 million gallons of water daily. Yeah, you had to run those toilets, right? Now, did they have underground plumbing? I think they did. Not everywhere, but I think they did have some underground plumbing. Not sure. Oh, I just lost my. Hang on. I just lost my clues, guys. You just have to guess this one without clues. They're coming back, though. Who knows this one? This one you can get from just the picture. You don't need no clues. My notes program just shut down on me because there were too many clues. All right, we're there. The original downtown. Julius Caesar was cremated here. Anybody know what this is called? Surrounded by triumphal arches, temples, and basilicas. Today, it's layered timeline of Rome's evolving ambitions. This is known as. This is what it looks like today. You can visit here in downtown Rome. It's called the Roman. This is the Roman Forum. Roman Forums, 7th century BC onward. So all lots of different buildings and temples and all kinds of things. The Forum's ruins include the ancient rostrum, where orators addressed crowds. There you go. All right, down to number 2. Here we go. Bet you know this one. From the outside, it's modest. Its dome is still the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome. The sun's beam moves like a cosmic spotlight. Originally built to honor all the gods, then it flipped to being a Christian church. Doctor! Correct. This would be cool to see. Still the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome. I don't know if I want to be in there in an earthquake. It stood for nearly 2,000 years. There you go. Still standing today. The dome's secret weapon? It has volcanic ash mixed into the concrete, which makes it lighter and stronger. This was the Roman secret. Volcanic ash. There you go. The Parthenon is, of course, correct. Completed in 126 AD. There you go. There it is. All right. And I think, once again, you guys know this one. Everybody's going to get it. This is Rome's blockbuster arena. Gladiators, naval battles, and 80,000 screaming fans. Trapdoors, elevators, and backstage tunnels. Seating was based on social class. Rich got to sit at the bottom. The plebes and the nosebleeds. It was built in just 8 years. And it still outlasts most modern stadiums today. Whether beast hunts or martyrdoms, it was built to dazzle and dominate. The Colosseum. What was the other name for the Colosseum? It was called something else, right? It was called by the developer's name originally. The Colosseum name came later. I forget what it was called. Something amphitheater, I think. There you go. I forget though. Sorry. Yes, the Colosseum is correct. It was completed in 80 AD. Despite centuries of earthquakes and plundering, the Colosseum still hosts concerts and events today. Its legacy lives on. The Colosseum, kind of a different view of it there. I think the little video has a little drone aerial here. Let's see if we zoom in. Not very fast. There we go. All right, we did Rome. Not bad. We got quite a few of those. Much better at Rome. It's good to have a doctor in that. All right, we got one more architect. We got one more little quick intermission and one more architect, okay? Now, this one is a Renaissance and Baroque architect. Renaissance and Baroque. So, this is Mr. Michelangelo. Let's do round 5. Alrighty. You know the rules. Robots. Hey, you guess. I give the clues. Now, this 5th round, we are going to do Giants of the East. Sacred geometry from Persia to Japan. So we're just going to roll everything else as we head east into one bucket here. Otherwise, we go on all night, and nobody wants to do that. Now, this first one is interesting, very interesting. This towering vault is what happens when a civilization flexes its brickwork skills. It's made out of brick. Once part of a royal Persian palace, it's now the world's largest single-span brick arch. No mortar, no steel, just ancient geometry and stubborn perfectionism. It's located near Baghdad, and it survived invasions, neglect, and time itself. The rest of the palace crumbled, but this arch stayed up. Anybody have any idea what this is called? I guess it's very well known, but you know, I learned something when I put this show together today. I didn't know about this one. But it is cool and it's huge. You can't, there's little teeny people down there in the bottom. Little teeny weeny. And it's all brick. Amazing. This is called the Ctesiphon Arch. Ctesiphon Arch. Kasara, Iraq, 3rd to 6th century AD. The Parthenians and Sassonians used baked bricks on such a scale that this arch was considered a wonder by early Arab and European historians alike. There you go. Okay, first couple are a little hard. So that means this one's hard too. This is an interior shot, in case you're wondering what the heck you're looking at. And this was completed in 750 AD. Now, have you ever seen the world's largest bronze Buddha? Well, this is his house. And then you can kind of see him in there. That's the bronze Buddha kind of in there in the middle. That's him. This is his house. What's the name of his house? Located in Nara, it once held the title of the world's largest wooden building. It's home to the Kiegan sect of Buddhism, and flocks of surprisingly aggressive deer. I don't know what that means. I guess there's deer in the forest around there. It was rebuilt several times. It still it probably burns down once in a while, right? It's wood. It still dwarfs most modern architecture. You enter through the Great South Gate, flanked by 2 fierce neo-guardian statues. So anyway, this is Buddha's house. It's not Ishtar Gate. There it is, Buddha's house. It's called Todai-ji Temple. Todai-ji Temple. Okay, there you go. It's the Buddha. All right, number 8. Here we go. Last hard one. Square. This one's surprising because it looks like it's in Egypt, but it's not in Egypt. This step pyramid is in Iran, and it predates most famous ziggurats. So 1250 BC. It's built by Lamanites. don't know who they are. It's one of the best preserved ziggurats in existence. So that's what it's famous for. Very well preserved. Its concentric terraces once reached 80 feet each one, I guess. Best preserved ziggurat in Iran. Iran. Its concentric terraces. It was sacred to Inshutiak, a god whose name may be tricky, but whose shrine was grand. It's made from millions of mud bricks again, some still bearing uniform stamps. So they had, each little brick had the maker's little stamp in there, I guess. That's pretty cool. It's not Ur. No. That's Mesopotamia. But probably not too far from Ur, right? Not too far. This is called the Ziggurat of Choga Zenbil. That sound familiar? There it is. You can see how preserved it is there. Anyway, Choga Zenbil was one of the first UNESCO World Heritage Sites ever designated, 1979. All right, you may know this one. Number 7. Let's do a pagoda. It's built to house sacred Buddhist texts from India. This pagoda, but I think it's in China. It's in China. This pagoda is all about spiritual storage. It's located in Xi'an, China, Xian. It's part of the legendary Silk Road. The structure has leaned slightly due to earthquakes. It's like a Zen version of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I definitely remember studying this in architectural school. This is on the list. Like the only one on the list. But it was one of the ones on the list. We didn't do that much on the East. Truth be told. Built during the Tang Dynasty, it symbolizes imperial support of Buddhism. Its stacked tiers, stacked tiers, are designed to guide prayers skyward. So it has a very distinctive name. The monk Zhuzong, whose pilgrimage-inspired journey to the west, supervised its construction after he returned from India. This is known as the Great Wild Goose Pagoda. This is the Wild Goose Pagoda. Okay. There you go. Well, I guess they don't get easier yet. Number 6. Okay, this is in Syria. Damascus's Grand Mosque is among the oldest in the Islamic world. It's originally a Roman temple. Then it was a church, a Christian church, and now it's a mosque. It includes Byzantine mosaics. I think that's what it's most famous for. Islamic domes and Christian relics. It's said to house the head, get this, of John the Baptist. This is where John the Baptist's head is. So you should know. Despite conflict and time, it remains a symbol of faith and endurance. Does anybody know where John the Baptist's head is? It's in Damascus. It was completed in 715 AD. Prime time for those Islamics. Muslim. Prime time. Its minaret of Jesus is linked to Islamic legend. This is called the Umayyad Mosque in Syria, in Damascus. There you go. Very pretty. Nice fountain. Beautiful arches. I guess that's why it's on the list. All right. Top 5 now. Hopefully these are all kind of more familiar. This is in Japan. In Japan. I don't think Jan's still in the house, but I think he's been to this place. It was nicknamed the White Heron Castle. It's as graceful as it is defensible. With layered walls and twisting paths, it was a samurai stronghold and a maze all in one. And it survived wars, earthquakes, and even World War II bombings without a scratch. The interiors include hidden floors and drop windows. It's Japan's most visited castle, and it's a national treasure. All right. The castle was never taken in battle, thanks to its deceptive layout. Defenders knew it, and the invaders got lost. That's interesting. So the tunnels and stuff where you had to know your way around to get in, pretty cool. Anybody know? It's called the Himeji Castle. Himeji Castle. It was actually had to be rebuilt in 1609 AD. Pretty cool looking, huh? Yeah. Okay, top 4. Here we go. We're on the home stretch. Home stretch. This one's made our list in several different categories. Another place I wouldn't mind visiting, but probably never will. Kind of off limits. The ceremonial heart of the Persian Empire. It was built for impressing more than defending. Now, this is the place where Alexander the Great burned it to the ground, but only after throwing a very opulent party first. So he conquered it through a party and then said, okay, let's light her on fire. The colossal staircases and sculpted reliefs radiate imperial grandeur. The Apadama Hall alone had 72 columns, each 20 meters tall. Even in ruins, it whispers empire in every stone. Anybody recognize this place? The reliefs depict envoys from across the empire, offering tribute, an ancient infographic of Persian diversity and dominance. Any guesses? Pretty famous. Going once. It's in Iran. Iran. Persepolis. Persepolis, burned to the ground by Alexander the Great. It was founded in 518 BC, way back in the day. The reliefs depict envoys. There you go. Okay, top 3. Here we go. Of the East. We're in the East, in case you're wondering. So this next one is actually, I believe, in Tibet. Tibet. It's built on a mountain in Lhasa. It's like a red and white dream frozen in the clouds. It's a former winter palace for the Dalai Lama. It blends religion, politics, and altitude. Over 1,000 rooms, including tombs of past lamas, golden stupas, and it's both fortress and monastery. Equally majestic and meditative. From afar, it looks like a painted into the Himalayas. It looks like it was painted into the Himalayas. This is the Dalai Lama's place. Well, I have a feeling we're having internet issues, and I apologize for that, but we're almost done. All right. This is known as the Potala Palace. Potala Palace. The palace rises over 13,000 feet above sea level, making it the highest palace in the world. So the other place that was 13,000 feet above sea level was that Tiwanaku in Peru. So if you remember the second round, the Americas, Tiwanaku was also 13,000 feet. People used to build at high altitude. I guess I didn't know any better. All right, top two. Here we go. Number two. Number two. I think you'll know this one. It's here somewhere. There it is. This is the world's largest religious complex. It was built by the Khmer for Vishnu. Its bas reliefs stretch for miles. Stories carved in stone, not pixels. It's designed to mirror the Hindu cosmos with moats, towers, and symmetry. It was later transformed into a Buddhist site, and it still welcomes monks today. Can't really tell much. Sunrise over its towers, Instagram gold for centuries. Its construction required more stones than all the Egyptian pyramids combined. They were cut, carved, and transported without wheels or draft animals. There you go. This is in the east. I believe this is in Cambodia, if I'm not mistaken. Cambodia. Angkor Wat, of course. Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat. All right, last one. Here we go. And I know you know this one, so it's going to prove that we have internet issues. Because I know you know this one. Now this one zigzags over 13,000 miles. It is proof that ancient defense can also be scenic. It was built over centuries by multiple dynasties to keep invaders out and taxes in. It's made from everything from stone to sticky rice mortar. So they used to pile rubble and all kinds of stuff inside this. So it's made of everything, is the point. Despite the myth, it is not visible from space. But, you know, it's still big. Every step tells a story of sacrifice, strategy, and stubbornness. Stubbornness. Just like us tonight with the slow internet here at the end. We're still very stubborn. Yes, of course. I know you know. I know you know. This is the Great Wall of China. 7th century BC, all the way up to the 17th century AD. So China's been using this thing for a long time. All right. Well, sorry we had a little bit of internet issues there at the end, but we've made it. We made it all the way through. So I'm glad you're here. And Sandra's still now, so that's good. Very good. Very good. Hey, I do have good news on the internet front, though. Tomorrow morning, I'm supposed to have somebody come in and maybe install a different internet for me. They're running they've run some fiber fairly close to us, and I might not have to use Starlink anymore. We might have to use a landline with faster speeds. So we will see. Have your fingers crossed for Wednesday night that maybe we'll have a faster internet on Wednesday. Anyway, I do appreciate everybody being here. And we do this on Sundays. and we do this on Wednesdays. On Sunday nights, like tonight, it's always a theme night. So we try to do 3 to 5 rounds of something that's on a theme. And tonight was, of course, ancient architecture, and that made it a little bit challenging, I know. I kind of enjoy it because I'm a retired architect. But anyway, it's not about what I like, it's about what you guys like. Now, I know you preferred the 5 rounds of the Hollywood golden age. So we'll try to get back onto those kind of categories. And then on Wednesday nights we do a variety show. So it's 3 kind of random rounds. We try to have one of each type: a history one, an entertainment one, and maybe a music one, that kind of thing. So anyway, thank you again. And I have a compilation of the different buildings to lead you out tonight, and take it easy.
The night wears heels, she struts alone. This bar's the place I call my home. I sip this swallow pride, pretend the moonlight lights by my side. Tell me, was it ever real, or just a song
to take.